実現させるコンパクトでレイアウトが自由な2ローターロータリー EV システム。
Mazda just found out what it takes to make Elon Musk angry and dropped a bombshell on Tesla. It took them an engine the entire industry left for dead and aimed it straight at the one thing Tesla thought no one could touch. Have you ever wondered what happens when the small company everyone wrote off years ago quietly walks back into the room and drops news so unexpected, so out of step with the entire industry, that even Elon Musk had to pay close attention? A spinning engine. The exact thing electric cars were supposed to kill forever. Mazda did something no one saw coming. They took the rotary engine, the small, smooth, oddball motor they have loved and abandoned, and revived more times than any sane company should, and they bolted it into the heart of an electric future nobody designed it for. And the moment the details started circulating, the question changed from, is Mazda still relevant? To, wait, did the smallest player in the room just outflank Tesla? To understand why this matters, you have to understand how unlikely it is. Mazda is not a giant. They do not pour $35 billion into platforms the way General Motors does. They do not sell millions of cars in a single quarter the way BYD does. For most of the last decade, the story written about Mazda was a quiet one. A nice company, good handling, loyal fans, but not a company that was going to shape the future. The future belonged to batteries. The future belonged to Tesla. Everyone agreed on that. But Mazda never fully let go of the rotary. And that turns out to matter more than anyone expected. So let's actually look at what they did. The rotary engine is unlike almost any other engine on the road. Instead of pistons going up and down, slamming and stopping and reversing direction thousands of times a minute, the rotary spins. A triangular rotor turns smoothly inside a chamber, almost no vibration, very few moving parts, and it is tiny. You can hold a rotary engine in a way you simply cannot hold a normal one. It is smooth, it is compact, and it loves to spin at high speed. For decades, that was its curse, because it drank fuel and it struggled with emissions, and so the world slowly walked away from it. But here is the twist Mazda figured out. In an electric car, you do not need an engine to drive the wheels. You need electricity. And what is the perfect device to make smooth, compact, vibration-free electricity on demand? A small engine that loves to spin at a constant speed and barely takes up any room. That is the bombshell. Mazda is not putting the rotary back in to power the car. They are using it as a generator, a tiny onboard power plant that charges the battery while you drive, so smoothly and so quietly that most passengers will never know it is running. It tucks under the hood in a space the size of a carry-on bag. It only ever runs at its most efficient speed, and it solves the one fear that still keeps millions of buyers away from electric cars: range anxiety. Think about what that actually means. The biggest barrier to buying electric has never really been the technology. It is the worry. The worry about the long drive, the dead battery, the charger that does not work, the road trip that turns into a stranded afternoon. Tesla answered that fear by building superchargers everywhere. Mazda just answered it by saying, what if you never had to stop at all? And this is the part that should make every executive in Detroit and every engineer in Austin a little uncomfortable. Because this does not require a national charging network. It does not require a billion-dollar battery factory. It does not require a single new highway. You put fuel in, the little rotary hums, the battery stays full, and you drive until you are tired, not until your battery's empty. So is this really the thing that ends the conversation? Hold on, because it is not that simple. Because for all the elegance of this idea, Mazda is still Mazda. And that comes with real, serious problems that no amount of clever engineering can hide. First, scale. Mazda builds a fraction of the cars the giants build. A brilliant idea trapped inside a small company is still trapped. You can have the smartest engine in the world, but if you can only put it in 100,000 cars a year, you are a footnote, not a revolution. Second, the rotary's old ghosts. This engine has always been thirsty and always struggled with emissions. Mazda says running it at a single constant speed fixes most of that. But the world has heard rotary promises before, and the rotary has broken hearts before. Trust once lost comes back slowly. Third, and this is the uncomfortable one, you are still burning fuel. For a buyer who wanted to leave gasoline behind entirely, a clever generator is still a generator. It is a bridge, not a destination. And bridges have a way of being torn down once the other side is finished. So why would Elon Musk care? Why would a man sitting on top of the most valuable car company in the world be bothered by a small Japanese firm and a spinning triangle? Because Mazda just attacked the exact spot where Tesla feels safest. Tesla's entire strategy is built on the idea that the future is fully electric and that the company who controls batteries and charging controls everything. Mazda just whispered a heretical little question into the market. What if people do not want to wait for that future? What if they want the quiet, the smoothness, the instant torque of electric, but without the anxiety today, with a tank they can fill in 3 minutes? That is not a competitor playing the same game. That is a competitor refusing to play the game at all. And Tesla is not the only one who should be nervous. Think about everyone who bet everything on pure batteries. The companies who poured fortunes into charging plans and battery chemistry, and the promise that range anxiety would simply disappear if they built enough infrastructure. Mazda just offered an answer that skips all of it. And the most dangerous ideas in any industry are never the loud ones. They are the quiet ones that make you wonder if you built the wrong thing. But before anyone crowns Mazda the new king, remember where we are standing. Because the history of technology is full of brilliant ideas that lost. The rotary engine itself is the perfect example. It was clever, it was elegant, it was loved by the people who understood it, and it still lost to the ordinary piston engine for 50 years. Being smarter has never been enough. Betamax was better than VHS, and VHS won. The airship was a marvel, and it vanished. Sometimes the better idea simply arrives at the wrong moment, in the wrong company, with the wrong amount of money behind it. And maybe that is exactly what is happening here. Maybe Mazda has handed the world a genuinely beautiful solution at the precise instant the world had already decided to move on. Or maybe, just maybe, they have read the room better than the giants did, and the giants are about to learn that the customer never actually wanted a revolution. They just wanted a car that does not strand them. So has Mazda really dropped a bombshell on Tesla? Has the oldest, strangest engine in the business quietly found its perfect home inside the most modern car on the road? Honestly, nobody knows yet. Anyone who tells you they are certain is selling you something. What we do know is this. The smallest player at the table just put down a card no one expected, and for the first time in a long time, the giants are the ones who have to react. And in an industry that spent 10 years absolutely sure it knew where the future was going, a spinning triangle from a company everyone forgot might be the most interesting thing anyone has built all year.